In this demo, we'll be reviewing the Use Rights and Rules section and Application section of the license record in detail. I have a license record open for Adobe Acrobat here, and I'm going to navigate to the Use Rights and Rules tab. I'm going to hit Collapse All. Our first section is Upgrade Rights. If this had current maintenance on it, this would have an upgrade right. That upgrade right would be support upgrade until a set date. If you did have an upgrade right and support upgrades until a set date, as newer versions of this application are added to the system, they would automatically be added to your applications. In this case, this has no upgrade rights, and so I'll return that back to where that was. This next section is downgrade rights. Downgrade rights, when enabled, can give you downgraded versions across versions or editions. They can be adjusted to specific versions and editions and different levels. Support downgrades from a recent application. If your primary application is 2017 and you have downgrade rights, then all previous versions would automatically be added to your Applications tab for this. Next one is License Consumption Rules. There's a lot going on in this area, so I'm going to take these one at a time. The first one is Allocations Consume License Entitlements. As we've learned, there are various types of allocations. By selecting this, it will make any allocation that you have made on the Consumption tab a permanent allocation, meaning it would consume that license. It's a common practice to check that on all named user licenses, for example. This next one is access granted to users or usage consumes license entitlements. This is for virtualized desktops and virtualization of applications. This will allow the consumption of that remote inventory. When checked, you will have the option to consume those remote devices based on access or usage within a time limited. What I generally see when this is managed is that it is set to access. You could also consume one entitlement for each user. In this case, this is a device-based license, and so it is set to device owned by each user. This next one is clients accessing servers that consume this license will be exempted from CALs. So if this was a SQL Server processor license, then there's unlimited usage on that from a CAL perspective. You would want to make sure that if this is licensed by processor, that this is checked so it is not included in any CAL calculations. Our next section is cloud service providers. You can check on-premise. That means any device that it's hosted in property is set to on-premise. All inventory defaults to on-premise. Any cloud service provider, so that means you can check all cloud service providers, or you could get specific and only choose each cloud service provider. What you're selecting here is what inventory sources can consume against this license. For example, if I have Amazon Web Services and I know I've licensed this product on that web service for pay-as-you-go, that means I would leave that unchecked. I would not need one of my local licenses. It was part of the cloud service provider agreement. If you did load software on a cloud instance and you're using the bring your own software license model, then you would want to check that from that source so that inventory from that source with this product on that can consume against this license, giving you an accurate consumption. Right of second use. In this case, there's secondary use on a work laptop, which means if I have a desktop or a laptop and I have a secondary device and it is a mobile device, then I would only need one license for this product, and I could run it on both of those. That's the way this is configured now. And so if I see a person with two devices with this product on it, one would get exempted as secondary use and become one of your product use rights savings on the compliance tab. No secondary use rights means both of those devices would need to consume a license. There is a tick box for secondary use at home. This is not something that can be tracked in the system. This is more of a cosmetic configuration. Next one is rights of multiple use. The top one is no multiple use rights. Means that if I have a device that has version 2016, version 2019, and version 2021 on that, then I would need 3 licenses. I have 3 versions, 3 separate installations on a device. That's what no multiple use rights means. In this case, one entitlement allows unlimited installations on the same device. That means with the same scenario, I would only need 1 license at the highest version, which was 2021. You also have the ability, 1 license entitlement may cover a limited number of installations on the same device. You can most certainly check that and populate that limited number that you have. We'll move on to rights on virtual machines and hosts. And so if these installations are in a virtual environment, in this case, this is set to no special virtualization rights. That means all installations would consume a license. This second box is license calculation, uses host capacity. This would use the full capacity of the physical host to license this product, ignoring the virtual devices. The next one is 1 license host allows unlimited VM installations. This would look at the host and also the virtual installations. A common use for this is SQL Server. Also, 1 license host covers multiple VMs. In the case of Windows Server Standard, you have to relicense the host for every 2 VMs, and that could be configured as such. License mobility rights are just that. They are just rights that you have recorded in the system. They are information only, and the rights do not affect compliance calculations. So you can set time limits apply before a license may be reassigned to another device, eligibility for use with cloud providers or third-party users may use linked applications. Exemptions would be by role. You know, you don't have to pay for development instances. They don't have to be licensed. You could exempt all devices labeled as development from this screen from unlimited, and then upon the next reconciliation, any device that was consuming this, if it was development, would no longer be contributing to the consumption of this license. Their consumption number would be 0 on this consumption tab. This is a way to manage exemptions in a more automated fashion. And from a notes perspective, I always encourage people to look at the notes at least when you build the license. Some of them have alternative configurations. In this case, it's just a link for you to go see the end user license agreement of this product. From the application tab, you do have the ability to add additional applications if you see fit. In this case, what you see is the primary application for this license. And below, you'll see the addition and version upgrades and downgrades based on what we configured from an upgrade and downgrade perspective. There's one thing that could be changed here cosmetically within a license, and I want to point that out. If you have more than one product in this top section, you will have created what we would call a bundle, a license bundle. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I have another license open here, which is an IBM license. And if we go to the Applications tab here, you will see that from a product perspective, in this top section, I have quite a few unique products here. And I would also have the version upgrades and downgrades for each one of those unique products. So what we've done is created a bundle. There is multiple products licensed under this license. Let's go to our Use Rights and Rules tab, just so you can understand how that would be looking if you were working with a bundled license. And collapse everything. And now you can see I no longer have a separate upgrade and downgrade bar. I have a license products and upgrades and downgrade rights. So when I hit that, you would get a grid. Each product can either be primary, meaning it contributes to consumption, or supplementary, meaning that that is something that can be used if the primary product exists and not have to be licensed elsewhere. Each bundled product has its own upgrade and downgrade rights. As you can see, by clicking the pencil for each product, you can have the ability to set that product as primary or supplementary. You also have upgrade rights and downgrade rights configured for that.